Glad to have everyone out this morning, and Merry Christmas. Invocation, Mr. King, would you handle that, please?
Yes,
and Mr. Bell, the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm going to refer to the conflict of interest. Mr. Parker's going to make a statement on it. Any amendments to the agenda?
Yes, there is one. There is an additional budget amendment that has been put in front of you today, and I think Mr. Mayo was going to talk about that.
You going to take care of that, Mr. Mayor?
Yes, I will. I'd like to, Mr. Milford Smith, I'd like to put him on the agenda to give us an update on the Stillman Memorial Library in reference to this budget amendment.
Thank you.
That could be number 2 under unfinished business. Other thing, Mr. Chairman, is that the work session that you have scheduled will have to be postponed. Ms. Melanzi contacted the county, and she's got illness in her family and will not be able to be here. She hopes to be able to come in the first meeting in January. And we'll keep her in our prayers and her family.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Parker. And we have our reports, and have special recognition for past Chairman Mr. King.
Sir.
I said we have special recognition for you.
Oh, thank you.
And we have Board of Commissioners' comments and reports. Then we'll move into unfinished business. Do we need to go over them now, each one, or just handle them at the meeting?
Only if there are some specific questions about them.
Okay, let's run over them right quick. The farm lease property for joint ownership from the County of Wayne and City of Goldsboro. Anyone have anything they need to add to that?
I have reviewed those leases, and the change that I wanted made by the city has been made, and they would be proper to be signed.
Okay. And we have, Planning Department has 2 plots or 2 items that we need to go over today. Connie is not here yet. Connie will take care of that.
I think he's walking in the door. Yeah, he's coming in
Mr. Price, do you have any changes or additions to,
A quick note, sir.
we're going to have a quick report from Fire Marshal Brian Taylor on consolidation of the some of the fire departments in the county. That'll be very brief. Request for 2014 North Carolina Association of County Commissioners Federal Legislative Agenda. Anyone have anything that they need to add or make comments on that?
The NACO?
Yes.
The NACO presentation, do you have that ready?
No, that's further down. This is the Federal Legislative Agenda for North Carolina Association of County Commissioners. Number 5 on the,
I can't bring it up yet. Trying to get it up.
Mr. Chairman, what was the due date on that? Again, we talked about it a little bit yesterday.
January the 10th.
January 10th, okay.
And what I think it was on your agenda for was just to look at it if you had any questions, but we'll try to get something together for your first meeting in January.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's this is the federal, the NACO, National Association of Counties, Mr. Chairman, and that would, from the association, having those requests on what you feel like as a county needs to be brought before the association in order for them to take it to NACO, the National Association of Counties in Washington, in March.
Okay.
And they would like to have those is it by February 14th?
It's January the 10th is when they'd like, at least for them to have them sent to Raleigh.
I had gone over this with Mr. Smith about 3 weeks ago to have a NACO presentation, and also my reports from Transportation and the Health and Human Services on the national level. But being that we have rescheduled some things, maybe we can reschedule that the first week in January, but I don't want it to slow up the report from the association to NACO.
Okay. You making notes of all this, Cindy?
Sir?
Okay.
So you want to give a transportation?
Not today.
But like maybe in the first meeting in January?
Yes. And the Health and Human Services also.
Okay, moving on to item number 6, Go Wayne Go. We're going to have a short presentation on that. We'll have a short report on Service on Aging. Number 8, the NACO video, that's scheduled for this morning.
You want to have that today then, or you want to put that off until the first week? We were trying to coordinate that, Mr. Chairman. We were trying to coordinate that, Mr. Chairman, with all of the NACO reports, so it would be in the same. Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
What we were doing is trying to coordinate the NACO presentation with the NACO reports of Transportation and DHHS at the same meeting.
At the same meeting?
Yes, sir.
What's the
It
pleasure?
would be a springboard. That's what I had talked to Mr. Smith about.
What's the pleasure of the board on just postponing all of it?
I think so.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, all right. We'll take that off the agenda on Mr. Parker.
So are we taking 8 and 9 off? Along with 5.
Along with that.
9 is Ms. Guy's.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
okay.
Sue's, yeah.
I'm sorry. All
It's
right.
5 and 8.
5 and 8.
Yeah.
And
Ms. Sue Guy, bring us an update on number 9, the NACO Citizen Service Opportunity Presentation.
Mr. Chairman, if I understood, you would not be taking off number 5 completely, just so you can announce that you're considering it. So if any of your citizens want to have some specific ideas, I was going to try to mention just briefly some of the matters that your state association has said that we need to be abreast of.
Okay.
And there are others that I'm sure that citizens will be interested in that that our association has not brought to our attention yet.
Okay, so you'll handle that?
Yes, sir, I'll
Okay.
do that. But your discussion and any action that the board wants to take would be at the first January meeting.
Okay, thank you. Then we have budget amendments, and we've had one add-on for consideration of the board this morning. Consent agenda, Mr. Parker.
These will be things, and Mr. Ward is here to discuss if you have any. These are matters that have come before you normally, a homestead exemption, present use value request, and a property tax exemption. The last two were not made in appropriate time.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, as Mr. Parker said, we have 5 homestead exclusions, 3 elderly, 2 disabled veterans, 1 present use value application, and applications for tax exemptions for 2 structures on 4 parcels. All of these applications were made late, had they've been made timely, they all will qualify. Action by the board is necessary to approve them, choose to do that, to be effective the 13th.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Ward. We have public comments at 10 o'clock, be limited to 4 minutes. We're going to go into closed session somewhere around 10:45 if
Yes, sir, assuming
permissible.
that things are moving along as Ms. Whitfield has put the minutes to.
Okay. And the work session has been canceled,
Yes, it'll be postponed. She hopes to be
postponed, or
able
not
to
right,
come
canceled,
back.
postponed until January. Board of Commissioners comments, and then Board of Commissioners information. Any of the commissioners have anything else to add to the agenda or comments? Do I have a motion that we go out of the briefing?
So moved.
It's 9 o'clock, time to conduct the business of the Wayne County Board of Commissioners in the County of Wayne. I'd like to welcome everyone out this morning. We start the meeting with invocation by Commissioner Steve Keene.
Good morning.
On.
It's Christmas coming next week, and it's a grand holiday as we celebrate Christ and the birth of our Savior. We celebrate Christmas in a lot of ways. A lot of people and citizens of this county are reminded at holidays like this that there are loved ones that have passed away that they've missed now. It reminds them of the memories that they've had in the past. There are people that are hurting. They're either hurting spiritually, physically, mentally, financially. And we have a time that during these holiday seasons that we find it hard to get through them. But fortunately, all the negative things that we have to say about ourselves and carrying those burdens, God has a positive answer for all that we think that is bad. He has something to say that is good. When we say it's impossible, God says all things are possible in Luke. We say, I'm too tired. God says, I will give you rest in Matthew. We say, nobody really loves me. God says, I love you in John 3:16. We say, I can't go on. God says, my grace is sufficient in 2 Corinthians. We say, I can't figure things out right now. God says, I will direct your steps in Proverbs. We say, I can't do it. God says, you can do all things in Philippians. We say, I'm not able. God says, I am able in 2 Corinthians. We say, it's not worth it. God says, it will be worth it in Romans. We say, I can't forgive myself. God says, I forgive you in 1 John. We say, I can't manage. God says, I will supply all your needs in Philippians. And we say, I'm afraid. And God says, I have not given you a spirit of fear in 2 Timothy. And we say, I'm always worried and frustrated. And God says, cast all your cares on me in 1 Peter. We say, I don't have enough faith. And God says, I've given everyone a measure of faith in Romans. And we say, I'm not smart enough. And God says, I give you wisdom in 1 Corinthians. And then we say, in times of holidays, I feel all alone. God says, I will never leave you or forsake you. Would you pray with me? Father in heaven, thank you for loving us like you do. Thank you for giving yourself for us, for what you have promised, what you're doing in our lives at this moment, and the things to come eternally. We thank you for the citizens of this county. We thank you for the place that we're in, the senior center. We thank you for this place that cares for those even when they're in destitute. We're grateful for the commission, the governance, and we thank you, Lord, for ordaining governance. We thank you for those this Christmas season that are in need, and then their programs that help those people in need. Father, we're grateful for the volunteers that give of themselves to serve this great county of Wayne. We pray for those who are sick today. We pray for those, Father, that are going through a loss of a family member. We pray for the military. We pray for those that are giving themselves right now and serving away from home, serving away from family and children, that they're not able to be with them this holiday season. We pray for the commissioners in this commission, this system of governance, that all we do and say this day will glorify you. In Christ's name we pray. Amen. Amen. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. King.
We stand and face the flag.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. Before we get started with the meeting, would like to ask everyone, if you have a cell phone, please either turn it off or put it on the silent mode, please. Conflict of interest statement. I'm going to refer this to Mr. Parker, please.
Mr. Chairman, the conflict statement that had been read by former Chairman Keene is certainly appropriate, but the statute says that applies to state agencies, and I know that he's on a state board, and when he started reading it, as when he became chairman, he did so, and it's certainly appropriate. The statutes that deal with county commissioners are more specific, and generally speaking, for a conflict, you have to have a specific financial arrangement or conflict, and the board then would relieve the board member from voting in that situation. The exceptions are if you're sitting as a board of adjustment on a quasi-judicial thing, it's a little broader, and if there's something that comes up before you that deals with changing a zoning that you or your family members have a financial interest in, but otherwise it's more specific than what the people that are appointed by the state is. And as I say, when a commissioner believes that there's a conflict, he asks to be recused, and the board needs to vote to recuse him on that. There's certainly nothing wrong with the one that the state uses, but if someone wanted to be excused or recuse themselves from voting under that, it's not necessarily that you could be.
Thank you, Mr. Parker. In essence of time, we're going to skip over reading the conflict of interest statement this morning. Moving on, is any adjustments to the agenda, Mr. Parker?
Mr. Chairman, there would be a new number 2 under unfinished business. There would be a report from the Steele on the status of the Steele Memorial Library down in Mount Olive. Mr. Milford Smith is going to give you that. There would be an additional budget amendment with respect to his presentation. Number 8, the NACO video will be postponed probably until the first meeting in January. The work session that was scheduled for Ms. Kara Malanzi from the School of Government up in Chapel Hill will have to be postponed. She has some illness in her family and wants to come the 1st of January if we can keep her and her family in our prayers over the holidays.
Anyone else have any adjustments to the agenda? If not, we'll move on. Special recognition, I'd like for Commissioner Keene to please come forward for just a minute, please. Mr. Keene, we like to present this plaque to you in appreciation of being chairman for Wayne County Board of Commissioners from December 4th, 2012 to December 3rd, 2013. We'd like to present this to you, and we certainly appreciate the hard work that you put into being chairman last year, and also your name tag. And if you need to make any comments, brief comments, because we're trying to make a short meeting today, but feel free to.
Mr. Chairman, thank you so much, and I appreciate this from the commissioners. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful gavel plaque. Just like to, I guess, tell everyone that I appreciate all the work that the board has done this past year. We've accomplished so much, and I just hope Godspeed this year for you, Mr. Chairman, and anything I can help you with, just please do not hesitate to call me. But thank you so much.
Thank you, Steve. Board of Commissioners committee reports. Mr. Pate.
I guess moving down here on in, I get to go first for a change. Mr. Chairman, yesterday when I told you I didn't have a lot to say when I sat down last night and started covering all the things that I had done in the last month, I've got more than I thought. But I'll try to be brief regardless. We had a Veterans Committee meeting, and it was very well attended. The group continues to grow. We had 2 representatives from Representative George Holdings' office there. They're really interested in what we're doing in Wayne County with our veterans group. One of the very few in the state, and we hope to continue to have that to grow. We're working on a service delivery pamphlet, and Barbara and Wayne, I guess they put that together, gave me a draft, and I presented it to the board. We do have a number of not corrections, but additions that they did want to add on, and I'm going to get that to Barbara as soon as I can. I told her I left it on my desk in my office upstairs in my house. I forgot to bring it today. We had Bill Boyd talk to us about the Wreaths Over America, and there was one done at Evergreen, and there was also one done at Pikeville, which I'll speak to a little bit more in a minute. And Anderson came by and briefed the group on the Veterans Cemetery and have the history behind that and the timelines with that. And of course, they're very interested in that and very happy that this project is moving forward quickly. Myself and the other commissioners, we all spent our time in the parades. We started out last Saturday at Mount Olive, the week before, and which I proceeded to get sick after that. But I did make the Fremont parade, but I missed Goldsboro because I was not feeling well. But myself and Commissioner Mayo and Commissioner Aycock, we all attended the one in Pikeville on Sunday, which is always a big treat for me because I grew up in Pikeville and I know so many people there. The Wayne County Development Alliance Board retreat was very interesting. The presentation we had on the Affordable Care Act, I think, really opened some eyes in view of not just the personal individual impact, but the cost it will impact with business. You can talk about that and, you know, debate that as long as you want, and I don't know if we all ever agree on that, but it is what it is. And they talked about their 5-year plan and how they've been going through that. We had breakout groups, and of course, as always, they put me with the Workforce Development Group. And I think we all decided that 30 minutes was not nearly enough time for us to solve the workforce development issues of Wayne County. So we'd like to have more time to work on that. And the dinner at Walnut Creek following the event was just fabulous, and I want to thank Joanna and her staff for putting it on. And they certainly helped me put on probably about 5 pounds. I attended the Wreaths Across America in Pikeville. It was a very touching and humbling event, held, of course, at the Pikeville Cemetery. There was one at Evergreen as well. There was a large number of people there, along with myself and Commissioner Mayo and Commissioner Eckhart. We were all three there. But my father, grandfather, and many of my number of people in my family are buried in that cemetery, where my father and grandfather both being veterans. So it was a touching event for me. We have a Agriculture Committee meeting tomorrow at the Wayne Center, and that'll be at 7:30 in the morning, so we can continue to talk about our Ag Center. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pate. Mr. Mayo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll try to go through this fast. I got a long list also. December 4th, I was in attendance at the Fremont Town Council meeting and public hearing on a presentation by Michael George, who with Sanford Hohauser Economic Development, concerning the anticipated effects of the extension of 795 I-40 connector to Wilmington. There was very good participation from the public as well as the town council. We need this connector for Pikeville, Fremont, Goldsboro to grow in the future. On December the 5th, I attended the final interview sessions for the request for qualifications concerning a needs assessment and feasibility study for the renovations of the former Wayne Correctional Center. December 9th, we had a WCDA officer and executive meeting, and we have some updates of the inquiries that we've been getting, and also planning the retreat. And of course, on December 11th, we did have the retreat, and like Commissioner Pate said, healthcare, the Affordable Care Act, really took center stage. Everyone's concerned about that, along with what we're going to do in Wayne County for economic development in the future and this year. On December 12th, Eastern Region and Eastern Alliance meeting down in Kinston. If refresh your memory, Eastern Region will no longer exist come June 30th. It's not going to be funded by the state, so the Eastern Region has moved to the Eastern Alliance, which is a nonprofit organization, and we're still going to try to be involved in economic development in East North Carolina. Well, while I was there, Sylvia Nesbitt, who's the Director of Finance, she said, you going back to Wayne County? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, I've got a check here for $1,877,864.75. Will you take it to Wayne County? I said, what? She said, I will. So we have received those funds from the Eastern Region for the 4 projects that the commissioners approved a few weeks ago. As Commissioner Pate had mentioned, I attended the Wreaths Across America ceremony in Pikeville Cemetery. And the goal of the Wreaths Across America is to place a wreath on every veteran grave in America. The mission of this group is simple: remember, honor, and teach. That is the mission of the Wreaths Across America. This was sponsored by the Pikeville American Legion, Post 541, who the post commander is James Carter. Also, we were able that same day to go out to the base to Colonel Levitt's home. She had a reception there for the commissioners and other officials, and that was a really nice event. And finally, the parades, Mount Olive, Fremont, Goldsboro, Pikeville, the kids is what I enjoy seeing when we go to these parades. It's all about kids. And finally, Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to mention something quickly. We got an email from Derek Finch, 4-H Robotics Rapid Report. I don't know if you've seen that or not, but real quickly, I want to hit some of the highlights. With a new building and equipment, we're ready to roar in the 2014 FIRST Robotics competition. The Wayne County Commissioners have let us use a space in the Wayne County Facility Building located on Corporate Drive, close to Carly C's, after Rotoraptors Team 3737 demonstrated its robot in September. If you remember, they gave us a demonstration of their robot. And And it comes just when we need the new space. With a growing group and our available storage space shrinking, we were running to 2 different locations in 2 different houses. We were all over the place. And now it's very nice. With a little bit of work, this place will be a great place for us. Steve Spence, one of the mentors of the club, said. Approximately 700 square feet. So I'm going to cut this off here and go on down and say, we're grateful to the county. It's going to be a great place, Coach Ann Finch said. The biggest thing is we are going to be in one space to build, and should mean we'll do a much better job. Christmas has come early, member Josh Spence says. Now the club is working on fundraising through grant writing and finding sponsors. Our team members are also getting involved. Through December, FRC students are selling boxes of candy in the community to help in those efforts. This Raptor report and this group is very important to economic development in Wayne County. It gets young people involved in the manufacturing sector. I don't know if you saw it or not, but this robot was throwing frisbees. And these students had built this robot, and one person was standing how far away? 50 feet? 50 feet? And that robot was so accurate, that person barely had to move to catch them when it was throwing them out. This is incredible of what experience that young people have in this county. So I urge the commissioners and all of us to continue to support the Raptor robotics competition in Wayne County. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Doherty.
Excuse me. During the last few weeks, I have attended the watch meeting at the hospital. And you know, as time has gone by, I have learned to really appreciate the mission of the watch van. The watch van is providing a great deal of medical services to the citizens here in Wayne County, and they're just doing a great job. I dropped by the veterans meeting that Bill was having here at the Veterans Building next door, and learned a great deal on their mission and their work. And the hospital board. The hospital board met, had a very lengthy meeting, and of course the main topic of that was the position of being out of network with Blue Cross Blue Shield. We are still working hard to get back into network. I remind everyone, though, that during this period of time, up until March the 31st, your out-of-network additional deductibles will be waived by the hospital. Also under Blue Cross, you need to be aware that any services provided at the emergency room are covered fully under the Blue Cross plan. We were hoping that we would be able to make an announcement before Christmas, but that seems unlikely at the present time. I really enjoyed the Christmas party held for the county employees. Going from table to table and speaking to the employees of Wayne County, these employees that service our citizens so diligently day in and day out. This year it was a little bit special because it was held at Lane Tree, a little bit of an upscale versus a box lunch, but the employees of Wayne County richly deserve that. I think I mean, going from table to table, I saw a lot of smiles. I was pleased also to attend and interact at the Wayne County Development Alliance retreat, as mentioned by Mr. Mayo. This retreat is very, very critical as we get together in a relaxed atmosphere to talk about bringing jobs and industry and new ideas that are formulated as we get in these breakout groups. You know, the 5-year plan that was mentioned by Commissioner Pate, in that 5-year plan, the goal was to bring 2,000 jobs, new jobs to Wayne County, new higher paying jobs to Wayne County. And it was really pleased to see that they are right on target on that so far they were around the 900, 950 level. So they're hoping at the end of that 5-year period of time to basically reach their goal. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Doherty. Mr. Bale?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I had the privilege of being a Wayne County juror during the past week, and I did not attend any of my meetings. I had to cancel that. I did ride with the commissioners on the Mount Olive Parade and the Fremont Parade. And during the Fremont Parade, I captured everything that was said and done on that. And I plan to get Wayne Alley to reproduce this and maybe show it. No comment, commissioners?
A good time, sir.
But anyway, I didn't get a chance to attend any meetings last week. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Bale. Mr. King?
Ms. Goldsboro was amazing this past year, putting on the Wreaths Across America at Evergreen. And I was so impressed that so many turned out. It was the first annual laying wreaths across America there at Evergreen. I was just so impressed with that and all the hard work that Ms. Goldsboro went about doing, and Mayor King and his thoughts out at Evergreen that was attended this past weekend. Over 450 wreaths were laid there at Evergreen, and we had about 200 left over that people generously gave, and we were able to take those and distribute those all over the county after we finished there. Last week, it was a Pinehurst 4 days with North Carolina Council of Communities involved in the MCO mergers. I had a chance to have a meeting with Secretary Voss about the upcoming regional moves, the lines and so forth that will be done with the LME MCOs. Our situation with East Point, as I mentioned at the last meeting, and hopefully, Mr. Chairman, we can have Ken Jones and J.W. Simmons, the chairman of East Point, to come and give us that report in, I believe, February. But right now, East Carolina Behavioral Health, 19 counties, and East Point, 12 counties, and down in coastal Carolina in the New Hanover, Brunswick area, looking at mergers, and we hope that East Point will take the lead, will come out taking the lead on this. We're working very hard on that, and we'll be doing so. Secretary Voss has to make a decision and get it back to the legislators by February 17th. Mr. Chairman, I will put the NACO report off until our next report. That's the National Association of Counties. And I do serve on that, as you know, the Health and Human Services Committee and also the National Transportation Steering Committee. Be looking at and giving a report on the highway system throughout the country, but more so how we can, as Mr. Mayo had mentioned, how we can sort of profile the Interstate 40 795 connector. Working on that with Secretary Fox, who, as you know, as former mayor of Charlotte, and now is the director on the National Transportation Authorities. So we're excited about getting together and moving forward with that. That's my report, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. King. Mr. Camardi?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I had the opportunity to attend most of the meetings, well, some part of the meeting that you've already heard about. The Economic Development Commission. I had a great opportunity to participate with my fellow commissioners in the parades that were held a couple of weeks ago. I'd like to, when I mentioned Mount Olive, parade for Mount Olive, I would like to read a brief statement here that will enlighten some of you about an event that takes place in Mount Olive. The New Year's Eve pickle drop for 2014 will take place next to the Mount Olive Pickle Company in their parking lot, as a matter of fact. And that company will hold the 15th annual New Year's Eve pickle drop December 31st at the corner of Cucumber and Vine in Mount Olive. Each year, the New Year pickle descends down the flagpole at the stroke of 7 p.m. And what we try to do is coincide that with something that happens at the Greenwood meantime, so that we don't have to stay up at midnight in Mount Olive to do that. So we do it early, so all the children can see it, be involved, and then go on to bed and have a restful night. So I'd like to invite all of you to come to Mount Olive, December 31st, corner of Cucumber and Vine, to see the world's greatest pickle drop. Also, with my personal committee meetings, they tend to happen in the latter part of the month. So when I come back again, I have something to report to you from wages and the library, et cetera. I'm going to reserve an opportunity to make comments at the end of the meeting, but that's all for right now, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Camardi. I'm going to keep mine brief because most of the meetings that I attended has already been mentioned, but I would like to say that I did attend the WCDA retreat in Mount Olive, very informal, and all of the information that we on the several different topics was very interesting and I think will be beneficial to Wayne County. I also attended the wreath laying at the Pikeville Cemetery. I was very honored to be there. My father was a World War II veteran, and that's where he's buried at. And I was also invited to go to Evergreen, but I just felt like my place that day was at Pikeville Cemetery. However, my wife did cover for me at Evergreen, and it was very appropriate for her because her family, she has family members that were World War II veterans, and they are buried at Evergreen. So she helped me out in covering both ceremonies. Also, the employee Christmas party out at Lane Tree, I attended it, and like Mr. Daugherty says, I think the employees had a good time. Very organized, and I want to thank whoever put it together. You did a good job. I also attended the Norah Wayne Band Concert and Science Fair. That's 2 years in a row I've attended that. And it's amazing, the students that are in junior high, the difference in the technology that they are have the access to today than what a lot of us have when we were in high school. But they're doing a great job at Norah Wayne with their science projects. And basically that's all I have, because like I say, most of the meetings that I did attend, someone has already commented on. So that's the end of my comments. Unfinished business, Mr. Parker, update on the contract with the radio system.
Joe Gurley and I are still working with RCC on that. We have a draft that we are working on and trying to get some things nailed down, and we hope to have a contract for you by the first of the year.
Thank you, Mr. Parker. Number 2 on the unfinished business that was to add on, Mr. Milford Smith needs to bring us up to date on the library, please. Good morning.
I'm real happy to say this morning that our design build process that we're trying with the Stillman Memorial Library is working well. So far, progress has been consistent and steady. We're in constant communication with the general contractor and myself. At this point, all the flooring rough ends have been cut out, plumbing installed, conduits in the floor installed and poured back, and it looks good. If you've been by there, the entrances and the canopies are well underway. We also have interior framing done now, and the conduits and the plumbing are being roughed into those walls as we go along. There is one minor difficulty that we encountered. It's completely unforeseen. In the process of pulling the asphalt off of the roof to set roof curbs for the air conditioning units, they discovered that what looked like good roof deck panels from underside had holes everywhere. Some of you have seen the picture. And that's going to result in a change order. It's completely unavoidable. No way anybody could have seen it. And Ms. Holt will have that change order here for you shortly. I have gone over the price of that change order. It's less than $2 a foot, and I think that's completely reasonable. I'd like to congratulate and let Jackson Builders know that we appreciate them being as conservative with that as they could. They're doing us a good job. They really are. We do have some wet conditions down there that's making any kind of progress outside a little bit slow. But that end of the county is wet. You kind of anticipate that anyway. I think they call that Lynchburg soil. Once it gets wet, it doesn't dry out very easily. Don't think it's going to result in a change order, but making the progress slow out. Last week, one of those big lifts was stuck out in the front yard up to the axle. I myself know how aggravating that is. But anyway, that's my report for this morning. Like I say, I'm well pleased with our design build concept. It's working for us. And I encourage you to consider that in all future projects when we can. If you got any questions, I'll be glad to answer.
Any questions for Mr. Smith?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Moving on to new business. Mr. Parker, you gonna handle the farm lease property jointly owned by the county of Wayne and the city of Goldsboro?
Yes, sir. You have in your packet the property that was acquired by the city of Goldsboro and the county jointly under the Clean Water Trust Fund project that was purchased some land out around Seymour Johnson Air Force Base. The city takes the lead in advertising this. They advertised, and you have the bids that were made. I have reviewed the leases, and after one change was made in my request, I recommend that you approve these. They're for 3 years.
Mr. Parker makes a recommendation that we approve this. Do I have a motion on the floor?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I move that we accept the recommendations, but I would like to have a comment during discussion.
Yes, sir. We have a motion on the floor. Any comments, Mr. King?
The 3-year period, as you know, all of my region or district is in a rural area. Unlike Pikeville or Fremont or Goldsboro, Mount Olive, my area is generally agriculture. And watching farmers over the last 5 years, I've noticed that a lot of their time or money is spent in getting the soil right with nitrogen and fertilizer, and especially when they're turning their crops and alternate their fields or crops in their fields each year, every other year. And I'm wondering if we might need to look at, just a thought, moving from a 3-year to a 5-year period. I know that it extends the period of time, but as much as I'm seeing, the farmers are putting in these properties, especially if they take one that's new, not that a farmer previously to that negated to look after it like he was supposed to. I'm not saying that, but there's a lot of properties that are coming available that these farmers are spending a lot of money in getting it ready. And it takes a couple of years to get it really right, and then to the 3rd year when it's really producing, is the return on their investment for the previous 2 years, are they seeing it come to fruition in that 3rd year? So just a thought that we might need to consider looking at that in the future, in the near future. It is, money's scarce, it's hard to come by, but it's very, very expensive to get these lands to produce at maximum. And I just ask that we consider maybe looking at a 4 or 5 year period instead of a 3.
Thank you, Mr. King. Anyone else have any comments? If no further comments, we have a motion on the floor. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed? Motion carries. Planning Board and the Planning Department has two items. Mr. Price? First one's Ingram Fields preliminary plot.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Before you've got Ingram Field preliminary, this was approved by the planning board at the last meeting. This is 74 lots in Rosewood Township off Charlie Brazel Road, just north of Rosewood Elementary School. It's in an area that is zoned RA 20, which requires a minimum lot size of 20,000 square feet. However, the average lot size in this subdivision is 16,319 square feet. What they're doing is taking advantage of our cluster subdivision option that we have in the subdivision ordinance that allows them in exchange for setting aside managed open space that will be common area, at least 25% of the property. They're able to reduce their lot sizes by at least 25%. So what we've got is approximately 30% of this property, or about 14 acres, is being set aside as open space that will be owned as common area by the people in the subdivision. Will allow the development of a walking trail throughout the subdivision. It does border the North Carolina Railroad property on the north side. It has an entrance on, as I said, onto Charlie Brazel Road. Planning Board does recommend it be approved as presented.
Any questions or discussion for Mr. Price?
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Daugherty?
So I'm understanding that this is a RA 20, which requires a 20,000 square foot. However, a developer may, at their option, use the cluster
Yes, sir.
type. Is that available for
Anywhere in the county.
anywhere in the county,
Yes, sir.
which would allow them to go down to a 15,000 square foot?
Yes, sir, or actually they could go down something smaller if they wanted to, but it's going to be dependent, again, they still have to have septic tanks on the property, so there's going to be some limitation. If they had access to public sewer, they could go down even smaller. But what they do in calculating how many lots they can have, they take the total acreage, divide that by 20,000, that determines what their ultimate lots could be if everything was at least 20,000, and then they can have no more lots than that. And then they set aside the open space.
And in that cluster development, they are required, I think Commissioner King informed me that you had to have a homeowners association
Yes, sir.
in that cluster development,
Yes, sir, that would be correct, because they would be the ultimate owners of that open space.
on the open space.
Yes, sir.
To maintain it and so forth.
And I think you've got it there, but I'll show you here, this green area here throughout the subdivision will be the open space area. Their entrance coming up Charlie Brazel Road. This is North Carolina Railroad property. So they've got the areas that probably were bad soil, that have some slope
Right.
issues. Instead of trying to divide that into lots and create maybe what might not be well-designed home sites, setting that aside as open space.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Anyone else? Mr. Price, I've one question. I see there's two cemeteries on this plot,
Yes, sir.
and that's been taken care of as far as access to and
Yes,
from
sir.
those.
We made sure that they show on the map, it may not be on the scale you've got there, but it is on the larger map. There are access easements to both cemeteries off the public right of way.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for Mr. Price? Do I have a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. I have a motion on the floor. Any other comments? All in favor of motion, show right hand. Motion carries. C4 Development LLC rezoning request, Mr. Price.
Yes, sir, Mr. Kaycock. The planning department received a petition from C4 Development LLC to rezone a 1.84 acre lot in Brogden Township from residential agricultural 20 to community shopping. This would allow the development of a retail store on the property. Property is at the intersection of 117 South Alternate and Outlaw Road near Brogden Middle School. It is next to Mays Chapel Church. Being a corner lot, has an existing house on the property that would be removed as part of the development of this property. Planning board looked at its location, looked at how it would fit in with the goals and desires of the comprehensive plan, and recommends that the property be rezoned from RA 20 to community shopping. Before the commissioners can take action on this, on a vote, you would be required to establish a public hearing. And that is the recommendation from the staff and planning board, that you establish a public hearing for your January meeting. Any questions I can answer?
Any questions from Mr. Price?
One thing I may add is we, will- as part of our, if you decide to establish a public hearing, it's routine for us to post a sign on the property, advertise in the newspaper, and then send a letter to the adjoining property owners within 100 feet of the property. And also, because of this being near Brockton Primary, we'll make sure we send a letter to the school board also.
These letters are not sent out until the public hearing.
They're sent out before, obviously prior to the public hearing. If you choose not to set a public hearing, this will end it today. If you set a public hearing, I think it's going to be recommended for your January 21st or your second meeting in January. We'll send out timely notices on all that.
What's the pleasure of the board?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I move that we file a recommendation to Mr. Price to follow through with this initiative, set the public hearing as
Yes, sir.
he's
That's the
requested.
request for they set public hearing.
I have a motion on the floor that we set the public hearing for the second meeting in January. Any further discussion?
Mr. Chairman, that would be at 9 a.m. in your regular meeting room on January 21, 2004.
It might be 9 or 9?
9:15.
9:15.
9:15. You got that,
Yes, sir.
Ms. Whitfield? Okay. Okay. What's the pleasures of the board? We need a motion on,
That is, I think that's what Mr. Cromartie's motion is.
okay, we have a motion on the floor that we have the public hearing. All in favor, show of right hand. Motion carries. Fire Department consolidation presentation by Fire Marshal Brian Taylor. Brian?
Good morning.
Morning.
Just take a couple minutes of your time this morning. Not gonna spend a whole lot of time, 'cause I don't have a whole lot to explain at this point. But, in your packets, I had sent you guys a letter just to inform you that I had received letters from each of the fire departments that are considering consolidation. Those fire departments are Eureka and Fayroe, to consolidate amongst each other, and also East Wayne and New Hope. In the letter from these departments, they have met with the individual membership and also the board of the fire departments, and they were all in agreement to move forward with the consolidation process. One thing I'd like to make known, and so kind of rest everybody's ease, that in no way did the county go to these fire departments and request this. These departments come to me, and it's something they have discussed for several years now. And when, of course, when the survey come out, it kind of confirmed what they were thinking back then, so they decided that it was time to move forward with that process if it was going to happen. So I have representatives from each fire department here today. If you have any specific questions for them that I can't answer. As far as specifics of the consolidation itself, I'm not involved with that because that's amongst the departments themselves. I will be coming before you here in the very near future and request a public hearing that we have to consolidate or to pull in the two response districts for tax purposes. I'll also bring you fire protection maps that will outline each department's response area and their fire protection area. Also I have met several times with the State Fire Marshal's office. I've been in contact with them by phone and in meetings. The local departments here have also done that to make sure that the process is going through what they needed to go through. They've also been meeting with their lawyers to make sure that the proper paperwork is done and submitted when that time comes. I do, in the letters from East Wayne and New Hope, their goal is by the end of March is to have everything in place, and the consolidation for those two departments to be complete. And with Eureka and Pharaoh, the biggest thing with them, the departments have agreed amongst themselves that they will change the name of the fire department up there. It will no longer be called East Wayne or Eureka or Pharaoh. They'll be changing their name to Northeast Wayne Fire Department. They felt that was best for them as they move forward in this venture of joining forces for the community. I'll be working, as I go through the process of updating these maps and that kind of thing, because there's just specific things when it comes to the response districts that I have to follow. I'll make sure I get with Mr. Parker and the tax department to make sure that we got everything covered and everything's okay with that before we move forward with a public hearing or anything of that nature. It's kind of the same course we've took in the past. I know Mr. King, I think, was involved in that back then, and Mr. Bell was. Kind of the same process that we go through as we did when we first created the response districts. The ratings, the insurance ratings across the districts, especially with the East Wayne district, as they consolidate, the New Hope Fire Department has the insurance rating of a Class 5. That insurance rating will carry over to the residents of East Wayne that are currently a Class 9. That's going to result in a tremendous savings in the insurance and stuff for that district. So, not only that, the tax rate for New Hope would also carry over to East Wayne, which is currently a 6, I believe, 6 cent in New Hope, and East Wayne is currently an 8 cents. So it's going to be a savings there. In the Eureka and Pharaoh district, both departments have the same insurance classification, so there's really no difference there. They won't see any difference there. The same tax rate is in the same districts. The biggest thing for them is consolidating their administration and reduction of, possibly in the future, some reduction in equipment cost and that kind of thing. Once the maps and everything's complete, the departments will have to go through a 9S inspection. And what a 9S inspection is, it's a minimum requirement that the state says they have to meet to be a fire department in North Carolina. It's fairly basic, but it's in detail also. And they will go through that. Once that's done, then the insurance rating throughout the district will be covered. The other thing I had in the letter was Pinewood. I have not had a letter from Pinewood at this point, but I have had contact with Pinewood, and they have stated that they're in the process or wanting to start the process of dissolution, which basically means they'll close the doors, sell their equipment, pay off their debt, and just dissolve as a department as a whole. I know they had looked at their charter. There was a few issues with that, so they're currently working with a lawyer on that to make sure all that's covered before they actually start the process. I fully expect that as soon as they get word back from that, I'll get that letter in hand, and that process will be started at that point in time. And as we move forward, I'll keep you informed with what's going on with this. Like I said, it's probably going to be a pretty quick thing from what the departments have told me their wishes are. So in the next couple months, I'll be back before you with some maps and the recommendations for approval on those. Any questions?
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Pate, and also, Mr. Pate, before we start, we do have representation from 3 or all 4 fire departments. So if you have any questions for any of the personnel from those fire departments, feel free to ask them also. Mr. Pate.
I was just going to say, I want to thank the fire chiefs in the district, which is mine, for keeping me in the loop. They made these decisions on their own. They made some appropriate decisions because they had some challenges that were unique to this area, and they've stood up to those challenges, and they're making the right decisions, in my opinion. And again, it's their decision. But I do have one question. On the Pinewood, who's going to cover that area when it does close? Has that been determined yet?
That's a good question. No, that has not been determined, and I haven't even started that process because I don't have that official letter yet.
Okay.
Ultimately, it's the board's decision on what we do with that area. You know, generally what would happen, you would look at the district, those districts that are surrounding them, and look to see who's best fit to cover that area. As you know, Pinewood has, you know, they used to cover a lot of area that the city of Goldsboro has annexed, and there's a lot of pockets, if you will, within the city limits that Pinewood actually covers now. It's not any kind of land that's developed, that you can develop or anything. It's either swampland or part of a road or part of an intersection or something of that nature. And I have thought of the idea, if the city of Goldsboro was in agreement of creating a rural district for the city of Goldsboro to clean up some of those areas around the city. But again, that's the board's decision, and whatever direction you guys give me, that's the way I'll go with as far as that district goes once the time comes for that.
I would just appreciate if you keep me up to date on that, because it may well evolve and impact the other fire departments in the district.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor.
just remind me, you said that Eureka and Fayette are merging?
Yes.
Okay, now, you said their insurance classification, you said it was the same, but I don't think you said what that was, you remember?
It's a Class 6, I'm sorry.
Class 6?
Class 6.
Okay,
Mhm.
thank you, appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Camardi.
I was just gonna say, since you have the gentleman represented, I'd like for them to introduce themselves if it's okay, and
That's fine.
let us know which departments they represent.
Chief of Fire Department, Randy Gray. My department, we're the fire department chief. Donald Gray, chief of the, Bill Song, chief of East Wayne.
Thank you, gentlemen. Anyone else have any questions or comments?
Comment, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir, Mr. King.
I appreciate the association working this out and taking it really on the hands of working together and really speaking as one, but partnering with all. I think that since we looked at the survey and handed that over 4, 5, 6 months ago and made that decision as a commission to give it to the association to work it out where it needs to be worked out. But I appreciate all the hard work and how sensitive they are. They're the ones that know what's going on in the field. They're the troops on the ground. They're the workers. And to get this kind of collaboration together within the association speaks very high of the association. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Mr. King.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I just got a couple of comments. I just want to thank those individual departments personally. As all of y'all know, fire department is kind of my pet peeve. And I know this has been discussed for a while. This was a very difficult decision for those fire departments to make, but I want to commend them on not thinking what is best for the fire department, but what is best for the citizens that they're representing. This is going to be, I feel like, a tremendous asset, being able to pool their resources and their manpower and possibly cut back on some equipment. And I just want to commend y'all for taking this incentive and doing it on your own. And I feel like that, you know, the VFA stated it was that the previous board authorized. We caught a lot of flack from it. In fact, I will admit that to start with, I really wasn't in favor of it. But the more I saw what was happening and what the outcome could be, I made a complete turnaround. And I really think that, you know, these departments had already discussed what they're doing, but I really think that they really needed to hear it from somebody besides someone in Wayne County. And I think that really opened the doors. And I just want to commend y'all for what you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 5, we are,
I'll talk real fast so you can get the public comments. These are the matters that were discussed earlier in the briefing that the board will discuss at its January meeting. Issues to recommend for the North Carolina County Commissioners Association to take as goals for federal action. The first one, which I think is the first one on everybody's agenda every year from a local government that goes to state as well as federal, is not to legislate without appropriating or quit having unfunded mandates. Other things that are federal completely or block grant, some of the money that comes to the county from that is used for county child protective services. There is a bill that would require people that buy items on the internet to pay sales tax to protect the local businesses here who, a lot of places when you buy on the internet, you don't pay sales tax. The Supreme Court has gotten involved in it a little, but there's a bill that should solve that. If you're interested, the thing that many of commissioners have already mentioned today, working on I-95 to get it all the way to through the county, and part of what you would need to do there is to get the Congress to change the rules on what can be done with FEMA properties that the county is under. Those are just some of the things. Another one that apparently at WCDA you got a lot of information on was the Affordable Health Care Act, to make sure that no undue burdens are placed on the counties as that is put into for anything else that you think of or that the public wants to get to the attention of you, that can be discussed in January.
thank you, Mr. Parker. It's a little past 10, time for public comments. If anyone would like to make a public comment, we're operating under a little different circumstances than we do at the regular commissioners meeting room. If you would, when you come up to speak, if you would, there's a sign-in sheet. We would need for you to write your name and address on that sign-up sheet, and it's on the podium. So anyone wishes to make a public comment, the floor is yours.
Tom Drew, P.O. Box 587 in Goldsboro, North Carolina. As a citizen reporter researching on the evolution of democracy evolving out of Goldsboro, Wayne County, based upon the securing and advancing of the 5 known core principles of democracy known as the 5 V's for victory. Those 5 V's are a manifestation of a political equation. There's one other political equation most people are familiar with, that's E equals MC squared. Most people can't get it on a very scientific level, but the essence of that was to tap the power, the energy of the atom. The equation I speak of, the camera's there, is Fs plus Pa equals D. This equation supersedes E equals MC squared. This liberates the power of the minds, all minds, to solve all problems of humanity. Did miss the meeting before last. I was there in spirit. I was up the street at the Board of Elections addressing an election protest, which I protocol promotion, where problems, where solutions. There was a preliminary hearing the 11th of December. That is now being appealed to the State Board. There's a hearing the 20th in Raleigh on that appeal. Been a busy year. To understand me in one word, the word is forum. Foundation of Education Democracy. 4 major topics this year to research affecting our democracy and our education systems was first the Middle East, what's next at WCC, May Mental Health Month, legislative wrap-up, breakfast at Main Tree, fourth quarter hot topic forum at Main Tree, exploring the quality of education by the status of the forum to secure such before, during, and after. This is one sign I had. Is the camera back there? Oh, okay. I didn't. This is going to be May Mental Health Month because of FS plus PA equals D. I do have hope on top of hope on top of hope. And I hope the State Board of Elections gives Wayne County an early Christmas present on the 20th. It recognizes the flaws in our electoral due process impeding the securing of FS plus PA equals D in Wayne County. One major thing with the fourth quarter hot topic forum and securing the forum, that was advertised as a forum. Legislative wrap-up was not advertised proactively, though reactively, though it's in question. All four of those things are ongoing research. One major thing, the fourth quarter hot topic forum was advertised as a forum. Upon arriving, I was seeking a copy from the president of the chamber sponsoring it of all questions received and asked and unasked. I was told that they would be filtered from the audience. Mr. King is the one I wish to find out from. There's only two people who had the opportunity to openly ask questions, Steve Keene and Phyllis Moore. And the question is, were they handpicked? Or did Ed Wilson say, raise your hands, and he picked on them? As forums go, that was a sham, a grand slam of a sham of form. If what I find is to be true is true.
Mr. Drew, your time limit is
I'd welcome Steve Keene to get the answer from Phyllis Moore, if he's concerned about the forum.
Mr. Drew, thanks for your comments.
Monty Casey Jr., Chairman of the Watchdog of Wayne. You guys almost put us out of business this year. We've had hardly no complaints. Previous boards, it was constantly coming in. I think one of the main things that did it, though, was the fact that you can put everything on TV where the citizens can see what you're doing, unlike your counterparts that still hold semi-private meetings and vote that way. And we've asked them to start filming so the public can see how their person representative was acting. There's expressions on their face like my friend does once in a while when he gets off course. But anyhow, congratulations, guys. And if you keep on going like this, we won't need to come to your meeting, because Steve writes so much in the paper, I go to sleep reading it. And I know y'all do too. But listen, y'all have a blessed Christmas, and keep up the good work, guys.
Thanks, Lonnie. Thank you, Lonnie.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Rosanna Brown. I'm a resident of the Wayne County area. And my question is, I'd like to know, like, living here in Goldsboro, I've been here since '71. And I'd like to know, there's probably streets here in Goldsboro, Spence Avenue, Wayne Avenue, Wayne Memorial Drive, excuse me. Elm Street, there's a lot of streets that are like the whiting marking. It's very bad to see at night, especially when it's raining. And, I noticed like a lot of cars so close to you, and I think, I was wondering, how long does it take for them to remark these linings? Because at night, I'm getting close to 70, so our sights are getting, but I drive carefully, but I just like to, know how often do they remark these whitings? Because to me, that's dangerous to the citizen. Because it's been a while since I've seen it been, remarked. Not the only person, that I like to. And that's about it. So I wish all of you a Merry Christmas, great New Year.
Thank you, ma'am, for your comments. Cindy, let's make a note of that, and I think probably a lot of it, it's the city streets. We can
to pass that on to the city of Pearl. Thank you, ma'am.
If no one else has a comment to make, the comment section is closed.
I would like to make a brief comment, please.
Yep, yes, sir, Mr. Bell.
I would just like to address Mr. Casey about the previous board making private vote. I've been on this board going on my 13th year, my 14th year, and I have never sat on a board that took votes in private.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, to the rest of the commissioners, the elected officials, and guests. Thank you for allowing us the opportunity to share a few updates with you and also to issue a challenge to you. So today I have with me one of my colleagues, Dr. Monair McGregor, and she is the Health Promotions Coordinator with Seymour Johnson Air Force Base, and she's also on our community action team. So she and I will be co-presenting today. What we'd like to do is a short presentation about the health challenges here in Wayne County. We want to share with you our plan to organize and the entire county, how they can strive to have a healthy lifestyle in this county. And finally, we want to issue a challenge to you, the commissioners, to be a cheerleader in your various districts and to get your participants energized in your communities. And so with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. McGregor to talk about some statistics and the health rankings here in the county.
Thank you, Christine. Good morning, commissioners and county residents. Thank you for allowing us to have this brief item here on the agenda this morning. There are some health challenges that we face in healthcare and in the public health community focused on nutrition issues, physical activity, lack of health education, all of which can become chronic illnesses like overweight, obesity, diabetes, heart disease, ultimately leading to increased absenteeism of the workforce and a lower quality of life. Unfortunately, these health challenges are not limited to our local community, as we see a lot of these health challenges and health issues to be widespread nationwide throughout our great state of North Carolina and our little slice of heaven here in Wayne County. Our Wayne County neighbors and friends make up some of these statistics, where more than 30% of Wayne County adults report 0 to no physical activity. Nearly 75% of Wayne County adults are overweight and obese. Knowing this, our Wayne County friends and neighbors are a major source of health concern. These statistics place Wayne County at the bottom quartile of the North Carolina 100 counties. While some people see this as a problem, we in Wayne County see this as a wonderful opportunity for all of the residents here in Wayne County to become part of the Go Wayne Go initiative. You may have seen our shirts for Go Wayne Go as we were at the fair and many other places distributing these wonderful shirts. So the Go Wayne Go initiative is here for all participants of the county. You do have a handout before you. So what we want to do is encourage you to work with us so that we can help to decrease and lower these statistics so that Wayne County residents, our friends and neighbors, can have a healthier future. And Ms. Christine is going to talk a bit more about how we're going to go about doing this.
Great. Thank you, Dr. McGregor. Well, when in your handout, you have a timeline that you can read at your leisure. We don't expect you to read it now, but this just gives you a kind of chronicle of how Go Wayne Go got started and how we anticipate moving forward. But just to highlight this, it was you, the board, in May that gave us the challenge. You challenged about 18, 20 organizations to start working together more collaboratively so that we can get people in our communities more involved in healthy lifestyles and engage them more in physical activity. So at your request, we did form a task force, was formed under the leadership of Mr. David Madden, our health director. He's been leading that Go Wayne Go task force very well. And because of that, we established a local initiative, the Go Wayne Go initiative, and we created our logo. We had a wonderful kickoff that was well attended. We set up a website, and we've also issued t-shirts. And up until this point, we've been doing a lot of marketing just to get the word out about Go Wayne Go. So now we're at phase 2. And what we really want to do is to turn up the heat, to energize the people in your communities, in those various districts, to become users of Go Wayne Go. And so that we can help them to utilize and realize their health objectives. So that's why we're coming to you today to share with you our proposal for how we anticipate doing that and to enlist your support. So the first thing we did was to form a subcommittee that represented about 12 to 15 engaged and energized consumers. These are people that are already embedded into the communities. A lot of them are doing educational programs, or they lead civic groups and organizations that from the various communities that they know they can pull in to engage in this process, and we've not done that at this time. So we've had one meeting on last Tuesday. We have another meeting, our second meeting today. So we are really moving, and they are ready to roll up their sleeves and get to work. And so one of the first things we did was in our first meeting, was to create a starter list of core groups. And in these core groups, and you have them listed before you, these are the kinds of people we asked them to think about bringing to the table so that we can make sure we had a very diverse group of people at the table. And these are all people that are embedded in all communities, so we wanted them to be representative. And after we did that, we decided that we wanted to address primarily 2 questions we started to talking about to give us a frame on how we would move forward. We talked about what are the resources that already exist in the various communities, and then we wanted to explore who else was needed or lacking that was not at the table. And that's the way we began to form. And just to give them a framework, what I did was broke the county up according to districts. And all of you have constituents in those various districts. We have 6 districts, as you can see. And this is the way the committee chose to move forward, to engage you in the process as well. And what we want you to do is to be the face of leadership in those various districts. And we need your help as we move forward to do that. And we need your to do 2 things for us. One, we need your help to ensure the success of the Go Wayne Go, and we want you to help us to identify people that are in your districts to help us to promote Go Wayne Go. Now, from that list of people that we developed with your input, we're going to hopefully establish some Go Wayne Go teams in those various communities and various districts. For example, we'll have a Fremont team, a Dudley team, a Seven Springs team, etc. And we will cover the whole entire county. And hopefully from those groups, we would then organize some champions, some community champions is what we're going to call them. And these people will serve as a contact person to our core group to help us to rally support in those various communities and to help us to kick off those various educational sessions or activities in those communities. So that's our framework of thinking of how we're going to do this. And then secondly, we need your help to help us to identify what health resources already exist in those various communities. because that will help us to develop our strategy a little bit further. And we want to eliminate duplication of services as well. We want to join forces with you all with the various things that are already in the community so that we can help people to live a healthy lifestyle. So in closing, I'd just like to say, you know that obesity and inactivity is big. It's a big monster that not one person can, to handle alone. So we need everybody working together. We need all our businesses, our agencies, and our organization working together because it requires all of us to work together to help people to lead a healthier lifestyle. So we'd like to invite you to be the face of leadership in your district, to help us, to help your constituents to be healthier as well. And you have a package in the back of your packet. There is a list of those people, key people that are already on our task force. This is an ever-evolving task force. So as we get other people, we're going to add them to the list. And as you think of that, we're going to challenge you to please use your card to give us people in your district that you know can think and help us to go forward. And trust me, the committee is very proactive, and they will be contacting you. Each of you, some of the people that live within your districts are on that committee. Some I know have already contacted some, and so they will be asking you for your input and your guidance and direction as we move forward. So I hope that together we can start focusing a little bit on the health and wellness and well-being of citizens here in the county. And we would like to say thank you for the opportunity. You gave us that challenge in May, and we took you up on it because it's long overdue. So we will be happy to entertain any questions at lunch, just in save of time, and any of the guests that may have questions as well. We'll be happy to do that. But if you have questions now, we will take those as well. Thank you.
Anyone have any questions for Ms. Smith or Dr. McGregor?
Just a comment.
Mr. Pate?
I appreciate you guys doing this because in my old job, in workforce development, a healthy employee is a productive employee, and the business sector deals with this on a regular basis so that as our citizens can become healthier, it'll help business as well. And I want to thank David, too, because I've been asking him for one of these T-shirts now for months. And now that I've got one, I'm excited I can help you out.
Oh, well, good. But definitely we will be looking forward to joining forces with you because we have to embrace it together as a community if we're going to move forward. So thank you for the opportunity.
Anyone else? Thank you, Ms. Smith and Dr. McGregor. Thank you.
Good morning, all. Hopefully, I want to talk loudly because I want everybody to hear me.
Citizen Relations presentation.
I want to tell about how well the Senior Center is doing. But before I give you my report, I want to acknowledge we have some dignitaries in the audience here. I'd like to ask Peggy M. Seegers and Martha Bryan to stand up. They are our senior target legislator and the legislative alternate. I also have some RAC members here, and that is the Regional Area Advisory Committee. And these are volunteers and people giving their time on the regional level, Eastern Carolina, to advise on issues related to seniors. And I have our 3 RAC members are here: Helena Bell, Hermanita Harris, and Yvonne McLean. And on the local level, I have a member of my advisory board for the Senior Center here, and that's Mary Troy. So now I'm going to pass out some statistics. What I wanted to see was what a difference a year makes. So I have some numbers here to compare the year before we moved into the Senior Center and the year since we have. I'm going to pass them out. For our listening audience, I wanted to compare one of the changes I have found since moving to this new building is obviously the number of seniors who come and use the building on a regular basis has increased. For the year before we moved in, we had 337 different individuals who came to the senior center, participated in programs. Since we have moved in, we have 1,178 different individuals. And what I've said before is when we were building this building, I was very nervous, and I thought, what if the people don't come? You know, and in my mind, I had a number. If I could get 100 new seniors, I'd feel good. Well, we have done that and then some. But of interest, I think, is the statistics on the type of senior or the age of senior that has grown the most. And the age range of 60 to 64 has had the largest growth. We had 49 different people in that age range that came to the center before we moved. Since we have moved, 265. That's about a 5 times growth in the what we call the younger senior. And I think that's attributable to our fitness room and to our nighttime hours, because working seniors can now come. So I also wanted to compare some of the categories. The biggest growth has been in fitness programs. I thought it was very appropriate when Christine talked about Go Wayne Go and how we want healthier seniors in Wayne County. Well, since we have moved, our fitness room and our fitness activities has grown exponentially. In our previous building, we had 175 different people who were working out. They were going to exercise classes, they were using equipment, things like that. Now we have 790 different people. And those are going to be healthier seniors. They're going to use less health care, so it'll be a savings to the county overall. I also listed some of the new programs that we've been able to offer since coming in the new building. We have Bridge Group and Bridge Lessons. We have what's known as a 20-20-20 exercise class. That's 20 minutes of cardio, 20 minutes of flexibility training, and 20 minutes of strength training. We have fitness room instruction. There's 4 times during the week that I have actual trainers in the fitness room who will work with the seniors on how to appropriately use the equipment, but also say you want to work on a specific muscle, you know, your abs or whatever. You can actually be taught the correct equipment and how to do it. It's like having your own personal trainer right here at the senior center. We have the social worker for the blind is located at the senior center, and we now have services from North Carolina Division of Deaf and Hard of Hearing. Legal aid comes out here. We now have life coaching, which is very interesting. We have a certified life coach who is volunteering her time. We have Zumba lessons. We now have a non-profit friends group in our own gift shop. We offer recreational cards. We have horseshoe pits. Monday night bingo. Bingo is still popular. We offer line dancing through Goldsboro Parks and Rec. We have functional fitness testing for seniors who want to learn how to improve their health, and we now are doing the movie matinee. A lot of these programs would not be possible without our volunteers, so I want to make sure to acknowledge we have over 70 people who donate their time to help keep this program going, and it's from every aspect. We have volunteer teachers, volunteer cleaners, volunteer administrators, they serve lunches. We truly could not do this without our volunteers, and I want to thank them. I also would like to publicly acknowledge my staff, because our workload has tripled, and they have stepped up to the plate and they're working hard and doing a good job. In terms of funding, I know you are aware sequestration has hit us, and we were cut by about $30,000. This has impacted my in-home aid and my transportation the most, and we now have longer waiting lists. I want to thank you as commissioners for level funding the county part of my budget. I appreciate that you did not cut me also. Thank you. In terms of the future, I have been told I might be hit by sequestration again after January, and that could be $40,000 to $50,000 is what I've been told, so I'm hoping it does not happen. And then also I believe Gateway is looking into maybe changing their bus rate. Right now we pay a flat rate, and they might go to a per mile. And if that happens, it will be an increase for us, and that might mean some cuts also. So that is things in a nutshell. I thank you very much for coming. It's wonderful for the seniors to be able to sit in on a meeting. Do you have any questions?
Any questions? Comments?
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you. Next item, NACO Citizens Service Opportunity Presentation, Ms. Sugai.
after all, I thought you were going to have a video, but I'm ready. NACO, which is the National Association of Counties, which I think Mr. King alluded to earlier, offered an opportunity back in November of 2009 for Wayne County residents to participate in a discounted prescription program. Since that time, through November of this year, Wayne County residents have saved over $292,000 in prescriptions alone. We think that's very significant, and I'm very appreciative of the opportunity to participate in that program. They are now offering 2 additional programs which will be available in Wayne County in February of 2014. One of them is the health discount program that also provides discounts on prescriptions, and it also provides discounts on vision care, prepaid labs, hearing, diabetic supply, and prepaid diagnostic imaging. This is a free card, just as the prescription card is a free card, and those can be obtained from the Human Resources Office. The other program is the dental discount program, and there is a charge attached to that. We're not going to be collecting for it in Human Resources, but we will have information on how that works. It costs $6.95 a month for an individual, or $59 a year. $8.95 a month for families, or $69 a year, so that is a tremendous savings. And it covers routine oral care, cleanings, that sort of thing, and also provides some discounts on orthodontia, which we think is really a neat thing to do. In the interest of time, I understand that I've been invited to hang out, so I will hang out and answer any questions then, but I did want to point out that the discount prescription cards are available in HR at this time. We're located in the Jeffries Building, 134 North John Street, room 108. And I brought some with me in case anyone in the audience would actually like to pick one up today. And the other 2 programs, the dental discount and the health discount, will be available in February of 2014. And we'll be able to give some more data about that. We'll be posting that on our website. So I think in this piece of time, if anyone has any questions, I'll hang out and they can be addressed to me then. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Ms. Gadsden. Budget amendments, Mr. Manholt.
Good morning. The first budget amendment is number 188, Wayne County Sheriff's Office. These for concealed weapons and fingerprint fees. We are increasing concealed weapons by $2,520, fingerprint fees by $1,410, and the associated line items.
Mr. Chairman, I move adoption.
Have a motion on the floor to adopt this budget amendment. Any comments? Questions? If none, I have a motion on the floor. The wishes of the board. Those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries.
Your next budget amendment is number 192. This budget amendment is for the Human Resources Department to cover excess workers' comp insurance additional audit premium. It is decreasing the workers' comp claims line item and increasing the workers' comp excess insurance policy line item. The reason for this budget amendment is that funds are available in the workers' comp claims line item. This exceeds the $5,000 limit that was given to us for approval, so we're bringing that before you. The premium is based on an estimated payroll amount. This is for the 2012-2013 year, and the premium is adjusted after the actual payroll figures come in.
What's the pleasure of the board?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we adopt 192.
Have a motion on the floor. Any comments or questions? None. All in favor of the budget amendment, raise your right hand.
Your next budget amendment. The next budget amendment is number 197. It is for the ABC profit distribution. In the last board meeting, y'all approved that we appropriate funds of $42,000 for East Point Family Drug Court. This is anticipating the ABC profit distribution. Even though we received $84,285, we are doing a budget amendment for $42,000 on the revenue and $42,000 on the expenditure. That is the amount that has been appropriated out of the total that we received.
Pleasure of the board. Move to approve, Mr. Chairman. Have a motion on the floor to approve. Any questions or comments? Comments, Mr. Chairman. Mr. King.
Judge David Brownlee and Colleen Lewinsky has worked really hard in this drug court, and as you know, most of the funds are handled through this part of the guardian item for the drug court. And Lenore County does their part, and Wayne County has stepped up to the plate to do their part, and how important it is to have this drug family court for these families that are running through difficult times. I just appreciate that the commissioners have stepped up and able to support the program. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. King. Any other questions or comments? If none, what's the pleasure of the board? All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries.
The next budget amendment is number 203, and it's a walk-on. It is to appropriate the funds for $39,185 for the change order for the Stillmore Memorial Library that Milford Smith addressed this morning. I'll go over this budget amendment with you. It appears to be double. This is one where we're moving the funds from our capital reserve fund into the capital fund, project fund for the Stillmore Memorial Library. So it has to be an increase on both sides, so that's why it looks double. It is increasing the fund balance appropriated in your capital reserve fund by $39,185, and it's increasing the transfer to the capital project fund by the same amount. On the capital project fund is anticipating the transfer for the capital reserve fund and appropriating expenditure to the Steele Memorial Library for the roof. This is not part of your general fund balance.
Chairman.
Mr. Mayor.
Make a motion that we accept this budget amendment.
I have a motion on the floor. Any questions or comments?
Mr. Mayor, would you add?
Yes, and authorize the change. The
signing
signing
of
of
the change order.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Add that to my motion.
Any other questions or comments? If none, all in favor, right hand. Motion carries.
Thank you. That concludes the budget amendment.
Consent agenda, Mr. Parker.
Mr. Chairman, you have before you matters considering homestead exemptions, present use value, and property tax exemptions. As Mr. Ward explained during the briefing, all of these are appropriate and would have, if they had been timely made, they would have, the tax office could have done them because they were not timely made under the.
King, I move that we adopt the recommendation.
I have a motion on the floor that we adopt the consent agenda for these three items. Any questions or comments?
Just a question.
Mr. Pate.
Were they notified about this by the tax office? You speak that.
David.
In some cases, they've taken all the mask, if we notify them, or in some cases, they just found out or realized that
But they don't get an official letter telling them this is available for them, or?
No, sir.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pate. Any other questions or comments? I have a motion on the floor. All in favor, show of right hand. Motion carries. We've had the public comment section. The work session has been canceled for today. Mr. Parker, are we ready to go in closed session, or do we need to go ahead with the comments from the commissioners?
Closed session would be appropriate now. The purpose would be to consult an attorney employed by you to preserve attorney-client privilege between attorney and you.
Okay. Do I have a motion that we go into closed session?
So moved.
Do I have a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. King. I have a motion that we go into closed session. All show, raise your right hand. Motion to go in closed session. I think as we go out the door, we go around to our left, and she will show us where we're going. Anyone else, before we take care of that, has anyone else got anything that they need to take care of?
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. King.
I'd like to move to appoint Chairman Wayne Aycock as acting manager while the county manager, Lee Smith, is taking time off.
I have a motion on the floor. Any discussion? If no discussion, show of sign of right hand. Motion carries. Anyone else have anything? Board of Commissioners comments? Mr. Pate?
Just one thing, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you.
Mr. Mayo?
Oh, okay, I got my 30 minutes that you said.
Yeah, we're going to talk about you, but go ahead and talk 30 minutes.
I just want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And as we think about the reason for the season, I'd like to read from Matthew chapter 7, verses 13 and 14, Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. It says, "Enter by the narrow gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leads to destruction. And there are many who go in by it, because narrow is the gate, and difficult is the way which leads to life. And there are few who find it." Let's remember that the birth of Christ is a reason for this season, and that we might all of us, I'm preaching to the choir, may take a look at our inner being and just see what our relationship is with Christ. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Daugherty?
I too want to express my wishes for a joyous Christmas. I hope we all draw our families near to us as we are celebrating the birth of Christ. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Mr. Bell?
Just like to say Merry Christmas to everybody and a Happy New Year.
Mr. King?
I would like to thank the commissioners once again for a good year that we've had in 2013. When we meet next time, it'll be into another year of 14, and just hope everyone has a very safe and joyful Christmas until then, until we meet again. God bless. Thank you.
Mr. Camardi?
I would just like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, and once again, keep in mind why we celebrate this day, and thank God for it.
Thank you, Mr. Camardi. I'd like to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone. And let's keep in mind our men and women in uniform that cannot be home for Christmas, that is sacrificing so much for us. And it's dear to Wayne County because we've got a lot right here in Wayne County that are sacrificing so much for us to have the freedom and the right to worship this time of the year. But everyone, just wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you.